Welcome to the Journey of a Thousand Mistakes. I'm kind of excited to be here, but also a little nervous because it's officially the end of the first week. So I've completed my first challenge and I kind of failed. So in that regard, it kind of sucks, but I also learned a lot from the experience. So my goal was to fast for a full 7 days. I didn't succeed. I went 3 days, which to be honest is way more than I've ever done before. I'm pretty sure my previous record in the past was 2 days, but that's because I was sick, so it doesn't really count. Aside from that, I'd probably say around 1 day was my max. I've never really done it before, but this was a conscious effort. So from that aspect, 3 days was really good. And given the fact that on the third day, I had a massive headache for 15 hours straight, and I still managed not to eat, I'm really proud of that. But honestly, it wasn't the hunger. The hunger wasn't that bad. Every once in a while, that's one of the biggest things I learned. That hunger isn't that bad. Maybe after a few weeks or for extended period of time. But for a few days, it's not that bad. The urges come, the craving to eat. But after a few minutes, maybe an hour tops, it passes. And it's really not that bad. The hardest thing for me was that headache. And it wasn't just getting through the day. That was okay. I did it. But it was the prospect of doing it for 4 more days, having that intense headache, not being able to focus, to be productive, to really do the things I want to do because I want to accomplish a lot of things this year. And I felt like it'd be a waste of 4 days if I kept doing this. Also, I was kind of hungry. I won't deny that. So there was a bit of selfishness in there of my physical body just wanting to eat. But anyway, in the moment, at the end of the third day, pretty much on the dot, I started eating again. And for a full 24 hours, I pretty much gave up. I was eating, not stuffing myself, just eating normally. But then on the next day after that, so on the start of the fifth day, I decided, you know what? I'm going to start again. For the last 3 days of this challenge, I'm going to do another fast. So my goal was to fast 6 days out of 7 with that one break in the middle. I went 2 days, and yesterday, on the second last day, once again, on that dot of like the 48-hour mark, I started eating again just because, well, part of it was because I didn't want that intense headache from the third day again. Part of it is because by that point, I've proved everything I wanted to myself. On that second day of that second fast, not only did I work out, like I really pushed myself in my workout, but I also went for a run for the first time in like 3 months, and it was snowing outside. So really not the perfect conditions, but I still did it. And after not eating for about a day and a half. So the fact that I was able to do that showed me that the limits you think you have are self-imposed. You can just break through if you have enough will and determination. So from that aspect, this whole thing was a huge success, even though I didn't manage to do the full 7 days. Honestly, I made a list of all the pros and the cons and the lessons I learned, but I feel like just speaking like this, explaining what I went through, it's going to be easier for you to relate and understand instead of just me listing out a bunch of stuff that I learned. Basically, those were the big takeaways. You can do anything you want, even if it seems impossible. Also, don't drive yourself crazy doing something just because you said you'd do it. If you begin and you realize halfway through, okay, maybe it's not the best if I keep doing this just because I said I would. It's better if I shift and do something else instead. That's kind of what I did. That's how I approached it for eating. Even though I failed, I learned a lot from that. And I had a conscious decision to stop the fast and start eating on that fourth day, basically the end of the third day. So I'm really happy that I learned that lesson because I can now feel I can apply that to other areas of my life. So keep striving for your dreams, but if your dreams change or you realize it's not for you, don't be afraid to quit because there's nothing worse than spending so much time, so much effort accomplishing something only to get there at the end and realize it's not what you wanted. On the downside, I realized that fasting in the long run isn't for me. The first few days, I felt great. So maybe I'm going to do another full day or 2-day fast. But for me, the third day was the cutoff point. I don't think I'm ever going to do a 3-day or more fast. Because for me, I lost productivity, concentration, and honestly, I was miserable the entire day, pretty much watching TV. It was horrible. So I'm not going to do it again. And I know that I need food to be able to live the type of lifestyle I want, to be able to be productive. And it affected my sleep too. I had trouble sleeping. That's why I look kind of tired, and I still feel a little tired even though I started eating again. So even though I failed twice during this challenge, once on the fourth day and then once on the seventh day, which is today, and I decided, you know what? It's enough. I've proved what I wanted to prove to myself. It's time to move on. So I'm really happy I did it. I got great takeaways from it. I hope you did too. I hope I can inspire you, at least encourage you to take your own challenges, even if it's not something as extreme as this, or if it's something even more extreme, like climbing Mount Everest. Anything you want to do, you can accomplish it. Just don't limit yourself. Anyway, before I keep rambling on and repeating myself, thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me. I'm so happy that I decided to do the challenge. I've been wanting to push myself for a long time, but I just didn't find the right excuse. Excuse isn't the right word. It doesn't really have the right connotation, but I think you understand what I mean. This reason to do it. And this whole show is what is pushing me, motivating me to do it. So I'm really happy I decided to do it. Even though I failed, it was the first mistake of this journey of 1,000 mistakes. So thanks for being here. Go follow your dreams. Also, if you want a list of my top resources, so books, podcasts, and all like that, just go to thejourneyofA1000mistakes.com and you're going to be able to find a sign up form there. Just fill it out. I'll email that to you. And whenever I have news, I'll just send that out to you also. If ever I create products or anything. I don't know. Right now, it's all getting started. I have no clue where it's going to go. But if you want to be kept up to date, obviously follow the podcast, the YouTube channel, the blog. But if you really want to be in this inner circle, subscribe to that newsletter. I'm going to keep you up to date. Hopefully be able to change my life, maybe inspire you to do the same. Once again, thanks for being here. Go be awesome and never, ever give up.